Hey, what's up everybody? Steve Alicious here for Steve Alicious Tech, my secondary channel where I go over some technology stuff that doesn't necessarily fit on the video game side, and one that I wanted to record because it is finally iPhone day, something that happens at least for me every 2 years since I don't get the S models typically. So here we go. It's going to be an unboxing. It's going to be the last one for 2 years as far as iPhones are concerned. Might as well get it on camera. And because it is an unboxing, you can't unbox something twice. So we're going to do it all the way through one take, and hopefully it's not a complete disaster. There we go. Let's go with plastic. But be careful not to show the bottom of the device. That way you can't get all my numbers and stuff like that. I've made that mistake before with an iPhone 5 unboxing. So let's take it off. I went with the jet black, by the way. Let me explain that for a moment, my choice of color. I always get the space gray. I have a white S6 for a work phone. My iPad is white. I keep looking for an excuse to get a different color in the iPhone. They finally gave me one. They said, "Hey, we'll invent black once again. We'll get a jet black going." And that gave me a cover to still have black, but get a slightly different color. But it doesn't matter anyway. You're going to put a case on it, which we'll get to a little bit later. But it is a consideration. It'll be cool to see. It's 128 gigabytes. We'll see what they did with it. It just is a shiny piano black that'll be hopefully not a mess for fingerprints. Ooh, there it is. Very nice. Yeah, it's about what you'd expect. Same feel. Let's unwrap this. Keep it all in frame here. Okay. There it is, the front and the... Let's see if we can get some shine off it. Oh yeah, if you're going to have the jet black, at least make it shine. Oh, that is weird. We'll get to that in a second. All right, comparisons. Yeah, this is the iPhone 6. Let's see there. It's eyeball. Roughly the same, though. The bottoms... very much not the same because of the jack, which people are going nuts about. Stereo sound, though, that's kind of cool. And just the button, really. I mean, the backs are roughly the same. And let's start with that. The first thing I noticed, you go down, you just kind of instinctively go to click it, nothing happens here. Because they've added their, the haptic feedback, I guess you could say. They use it on the MacBooks now. Soon to be on the MacBook Pros, I believe, if not already, where it doesn't really press down. It's just basically a motor, a little engine behind there that simulates. We got to simulate a button. You can't just have a button anymore. It's basically the same size as the other one. We can't have an actual legitimate button where you just push it. And trust me, listen, a lot of you guys are young enough probably watching this where you're like, wait a minute, he's complaining about buttons. No, I lived through the button nightmare. I came from that generation. My last phone before an iPhone was a Motorola Q. And I know some of you are saying, a Motorola what? What is that? Bam. I'll show you what it is. This was this looks like a toy. It looks like something from a movie. This was an actual in-use phone that you had to type on those little buttons and do all kinds of things. And you had to use Windows CE. That is about as painful as it sounds, trust me. And all these different things. You had buttons on the side. You had scroll wheels. If you were a BlackBerry user, you loved your scroll wheel. And all this kind of infrared. Ooh, juicy. And a 1.3 megapixel camera. This is what came. It looks like it's 100 years old. It came right before the original iPhone. So I understand the point of trying to get rid of these buttons, but one physical button is not going to kill us. We came from this. So we'll power it on in a moment and go with that. The other thing with the headphone jack, I really don't care. A bunch of people care about the headphone jack. To be honest with you, I don't have a situation where I'll be charging it and listening to music at the same time. I have an iPod for that. As far as plugging stuff in, you could still plug your headphones into here. In fact, these are probably the new headphones that plug right into the multi-use lightning port now. And they'll work just fine. I don't see an issue with that. I had my iPhone 2 years. I think I maybe used the headphone jack once. So, and it's the same thing. You know, Apple gets a lot of flack for this stuff up front. But when you actually sit down and practice, it doesn't affect your everyday use of stuff all that much. Same thing with the DVD drive and all the rest of it. Their DVDs were basically done anyway. So that's where I stand on that. And the shame of it is that the first day on these things, on these iPhones, when they first come out, it's tough to get cases for them because OtterBox didn't have the lineup of the cases I would want. Redbubble needs to come up with a better design for the one I want. I always get the Grumpy Cat case. Okay, so when they come up with a better Grumpy Cat design, I'll be ordering those when they get their iPhone 7 ones in. But the thing is that the ones that you get usually, I didn't get the Apple ones. I didn't make that mistake this time. I got the, it was sold through Apple. I was just getting up to get it there. It's sold through Apple, but it's absolute garbage. This is what, now I got the clear one, thinking, all right, I got the piano black. Let me show it off quite a bit, but, ugh. This was, and to just by comparison, let me get this. This is dual, okay? So you got the rubber part in here. You got the plastic part with the wonderful design. And this was $30. And this does well. It's covered drops. All kinds of things have happened, and this has been just fine. This one, on the other hand, was $40. And I feel like I could break it already, to be honest with you. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to be replacing it as soon as possible. But let's turn it on and see if we can't touch this, get used to this. I guess, would it be haptic feedback? Is that, I thought that was an Android thing, but perhaps not. Oh. Ugh. It's, I mean, it feels like you're pushing something, but nothing's, like some sort of optical illusion. It feels like, you know what it feels like? And maybe this will identify with people. It feels like a cheaply made controller or something like that, where you're pushing a button, but the whole unit's kind of pushing, and you're pushing the pieces back together, like two pieces of plastic together. That's kind of what it feels like. It feels like I'm pushing the entire unit down. And like there's some sort of seam here that's kind of clicking back in place. I don't like it. It's more of a click than a press. I'll get used to it like all the other things that happen, but not a huge fan of that. Let's put the case on it. No, let's enjoy that for a few more minutes. A few more seconds. There we go. All right, let's put the case on it. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Ugh. This is horrible. We're going to get ourselves a Grumpy Cat case ASAP. But that's about it. First impressions, unboxing. Let's see what else you get in the box. You get one of these Apple chargers, which are basically universal at this point. You plug in your USB and off you go. The Lightning port headphones, which you don't want to use. You don't want to lose these, and you don't want to use those silly AirPod things either. A Lightning charger, which is always nice. Perhaps they've thickened it up a bit along here, so it doesn't fray completely and be just awful. And that's about it. That's all you get. I'm going to set it up, but I'm going to do that off screen. Thanks for joining. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'm going to put my main channel in the description so you can go from there. Until next time, have that Steve-alicious day.